Okay. It's enough. It's enough time. It's enough time. Because I know we're 10 minutes late. But like half the lobby had issues to join. Now we're all in. So, welcome to Ero Ps F1 Italian Grand Prix in short. As we are going to start the race around one of the most wonderful circuits around the F1 calendar, the most historic one as well. Monza! The fastest in the entire calendar, with speeds reaching 360 km per hour. 11 corners only, as we are about to begin the race in the Temple of Speed. The Tifosis are waiting to start. As I can tell, we're about to go for it, which is good news, as everyone has joined, and we're going to see a dry qualifying around Monza. Only 18 drivers today. I don't know where 2 of them have gone, but that's a subject for their problems. Because I, for example, have no clue. In short, my name is Wojciech. I am the owner of European Racing Organization, the home of F1 23 League Racing going through its season 10, and also the PSF1 commentator. Why? Because to be fair, if there's one thing I enjoy doing Ero right now, that is the commentary in PSF1, which can deliver some great races. If you watch the PSF1 Austrian Grand Prix highlights, for example, you will know why. We've got more chaotic and less chaotic races, and we've got racing standards in place most of the time. It's basically, apart from Dutch Grand Prix, which proved that nobody could really drive there, there was maybe 1 report per race, and that was brilliant. And I hope this continues today, although Monza has this one very tasty corner called Turn 1, where you can slightly miss the braking point and causes several car pile-up, which, for example, happened at the PSF5 safety car restart. Enough of waffling, because we've got to get in game, which you can tell, dry qualifying finally. As fast drivers are already leaving the garage, we know that there will be plenty of slipstream being given today. We've also got a couple of new drivers, at least new in terms of Season 10, who are racing in Ero today for the first time this season. And one of them is in the AlphaTauri, but not this one. Kaiser Huber is a full-time driver in the AlphaTauri. We're speaking about the guy who's currently in the pits. And his name is Diego Moraes, who's already got one PSF1 championship back in Season 7, when he was still racing with line because it was allowed in this tier. Now it isn't since Season 8. We've also got a couple more reserves joining us. These names are, for example, Franciszek Jeziorny, who's going to race in the Mercedes, an F2 driver who's got a personal best while being extremely sick yesterday at Monza. By 0.2 of a second. And got pole position. Let me just see what the qualifying lap times were, or just, okay, we've got 1:18.7 from Franciszek Jeziorny yesterday in PSF2. This is what Matthew Rungson has seen by himself, as he was commentating that tier. As first drivers are coming out for their laps, more reserves, of course, Jan Goring from F2 as well, but he's a proper no-assist driver for now already. Siep de Manga returns Ero after half a season break. We've also got Sam Goyard joining us in the Williams, finally has done it and joined the car. He wanted to race it. As looking for the first drivers car on their laps. Le Penroux has got issues. The double PSF1 champion is not having the greatest of times currently in Ero, failing to get a podium in the last 2 races, although Season 9 was his pure domination with Jensen Rundle, where they claimed 1-2 multiple times. Now he's only 4th in the championship. We have to note that he's missed 2 races, but only 4th in Spain, 6th in Netherlands, at least with a pole position, which gets you a point in this league. As I've been notified, yeah, you cannot hear the game sound. Now you can. There you go. Anyway, speaking of Le Pen, he's currently only 4th in the standings. Francesco Lago, who missed last two races in Spain and Britain, and Spain and Netherlands, sorry, returns racing as well. He's the championship leader with 60 points in the bag, third, second, and first, respectively. Belgium, Britain, Austria. And then the next two races were won by none other than Brendan Gashi, who is not racing, unfortunately, today because he's a reserve driver. But the fact he casually won two races in a row was actually something else, as Lepeno currently sets a provisional pole of 18.6. Well, Drake Dempsey has just done a 17.6 in the time trial, but it's the time trial. It's got different rights. Second is Maxime Rodriguez, 19.0. Finally got a podium last week in the Dutch Grand Prix. To be fair, he's got a potential for at least one race win this season. Kyle Putin and Diogo Moraes. Well, we'll follow the AlphaTauri driver, as Diogo Moraes, as I told you already, Season 7 champion, mainly due to Guillaume Darignan and Cameron Doubts not racing in the last races, as Moraes nearly collides with a Ferrari of Zanetti. But overall, Moraes is a really quick driver, went to PC for Seasons 8 and 9, actually Season 8 only to be fair, and still managed to get third in the championship, fourth in the championship despite racing half a season. As Moraes is now going through Parabolica to almost got pole position. I mean, it's 3/10, but second place, still great result for a return to Ero. Jan Goring on his hot lap as well. He may also as well cook a great lap time of some sort, as one of the Red Bulls is just chilling on the right side of the road. That's brilliant that he chills on the right side, not in the racing line. Because we've seen a couple of incidents where people have gone into the racing line and smashed, and the people smashed into them. Thankfully, haven't seen this recently in our league, as Jan Goring goes wide in the entry of Andrenta Ascari. No line still in the development process. As Goring crosses the line to make it a 20.8, but I know he can definitely go better, like over a second better. Well, you can even go 2 seconds better and a half, because Lepeno is currently on provisional pole with 18.6, and with the track grip track grip levels rising linearly, which means they rise consistently over time. You will definitely see some better lap times because of, simple as that, more grip. Panos Nikolaidis gets a purple sector 1, but sector 2, but don't really suggest the results on that, because the game just treats it as the best personal lap, and we're not really sure if this is a fastest sector overall, as Panos Nikolaidis gets a slipstream from the Williams quite accidentally and jumps into 6th. That Williams is Sam Goyer. After troubles, he finally joined the lobby. Joshua Evans was as well joined. I'm so used to his name on the grid that I didn't even notice, as well as El Cardia in the Alfa Romeo, who's just retired. But Joshua Evans finally returns to PS F1 for one race, as he prefers to drive with line on, but he can also do off. Proof, 4th place in the championship in Season 8. That season where there was loads of drama regarding some of the drivers, especially those up front. At least Lepeno's one, if you want spoilers. Goyer currently pushing through Sector 2 into Variante Ascari, 53.2. I would love to have some reference to Lepeno's lap time, but unfortunately we don't have it, as Goyer is just approaching Parabolica, or you can name it Alboreto now. The final corner of this fastest Formula 1 circuit. Doubt if Mexico is actually faster, I don't think so, as Sam Goyer crosses the line to make it the 19.6, 7 seconds ahead of Nikolaidis on the 6th place. There's loads of drivers going out for their outlaps. 12th is Joshua Evans, and Gallian is currently going through Sector 1, losing 65 milliseconds in Sector 1 compared to his best lap time. We'll see about it after Sector 2. As Angolian is quarter of a second slower, so I don't think he's going to improve that one unless he gets a magic Ascaris chicane. Don't think so. It was good. But probably not what he expected in terms of getting a fastest lap. We also have to have a word about this guy in the Haas. Ludwig Stahlberg, last week in Netherlands in the Dutch Grand Prix, has got his first ever Ero Ps F1 podium, which is a massive result. Because this guy actually had the pace to do it in Spain, but, well, there is a certain bump on the pit lane entry which forced him to go into the wall. He's got the pace in Saudi Arabia back in Season 8, but the time penalty for track limits dropped him into 7th. And now in Netherlands he's finally done, and now he's going for his second run in the qualifying. 19.9 as a reference. He's got second place with a bunker lap last week in Netherlands, so I think he can still go for it, although he claims it lap of his life, which wasn't enough to beat Le Penroux, but was enough to build a podium result out of that. Stahlberg going for the grand corner, as Le Penroux is on the hot lap as well. But Ludwig Stahlberg is improving by 0.2 of a second, now using the curbs, which are pretty much RNG, but we're still racing in Monza. We are Giga Chats, who are not changing tracks one day before the race, because of some random RNG that has been in the game since 10 years. As more and more drivers are going on the hot laps. Le Penroux goes to the pits, though. Federico Olano with a great result so far, 4th place in his home soil. Lago, not going great, only 17th, same as his countryman Zanetti. 3 Italians, and 2 of them are back of the field. Stahlberg is 6 tenths behind everyone else. Zanetti retires from the session, crashing out on the exit of the second Lesmo. We've seen Lago now going in the second, 18.9. And Stahlberg is about to cross the line, although he might go wide. He's gone wide. Will he invalidate this lap? No, he's still going. And that should be in the 90s, low 90s, as that is 19.2, placing himself on the 5th place. Next up to cross the line, well, definitely not Diogo Moraes, because he's backed out of it, probably. We've got an Alpha Tauri, the old Alpha Tauri, Kaiser Huber. I've seen someone making a lap. That could be Francesco Giorno, you're 8th, as an F2 debut, as a debut driver who's just jumped from F2 for this one race. Zach Huber going to the pits, though, so nothing interesting out of his efforts. Goring 3 tenths up on his lap time, as I told you. Olano goes second again. 18.944. Looks like Le Penroux is cooking the rest of the field. And although I promised to the Facebook group on the advertisement section that Le Penroux... Okay, never mind. Maxime Rodriguez just got pole position with 4 now, 6 minutes to go. So we've still got 3rd of the session. And this tire is still on track. And drivers are trying to avoid it, I believe. And Goring almost spun. I said it's going to cross the line, but that's Angelian starting, so nothing for you to be bothered for the next 1 minute and 5 seconds. Siep de Mangal is currently approaching start-finish straight, but with the intention to pit. A Haas of Ludwig Stahlberg, I believe, is also going to pit. Yeah, he does. Balgos is losing over a second, and he's not using Yaris as well. I guess more and more drivers are going to the pits and getting the one more set of softs on. I don't think anyone barring Angelian is on the lap, to be fair. And he's not on the lap anymore because he's invalidated. Goyard just started. So we've got one more driver on the lap. Bulkinen invalidated. Lago in the pits. Olano also in the pits because he's just run out of fuel. And Rodriguez, I believe, is also going to the pits because there's no point of using the same soft tires. We'll see if this 18.4 is enough. That would make it not first pole position for Maxime Rodriguez this season, as he's already got one in Austria. Unfortunately, he DNF'd at the later stages. Got it back with the 3rd place in Dutch Grand Prix, but still, could have got the point, but DNF, so he didn't. Angelian in the pit. I think that everyone... And Goyard has nearly spun around and crashed into the wall, but saved the car wonderfully. As he's already backed out of it, probably will go to the pits and then make one last try to get a pole position potentially, because to be fair, everyone in this tier can get a pole position unless you're Jan Goring or Kaiser Huber, because you're like a second to the next driver on the field. Well, that's it, everyone is in the pits. Nothing is currently happening. And I can say, quite literally, nothing is happening. Apart from the Ferrari going out, and that is Jacob Balgos, who's also got a podium in the Spanish Grand Prix, his second Ero Ps F1 race. But actually I can count how many drivers got a podium this season, because 4 different race winners, Ben Gashi being the only driver with 2 race wins. And how many podiums, drivers who were on the podium? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is Rodriguez, basically everyone in the 8. Basically everyone in the top 10. We got also 11th name of Sabaton, 12 of Balgos, and I believe that's it. But 12 drivers in the space of 5 races got into the podium. So if you want to have some unpredictability, this is the race you want to watch. Also, I delayed the advertisement, so you are not that annoyed, because it can be, for example, middle of the action and you're suddenly slapped with an advertisement. I know, kind of money talks, but not really want to make you so bothered. I think one will do per race or 2. As more and more drivers are going on the outlap with follow, but Jacob Balgos though. Some people complain, to be fair. Maxim! What are you doing? He just got a 5-place grid penalty for illegal blocking. Are you serious? And we cannot check who's also got that penalty. Because definitely that is 2 drivers, so we have to rely on the race director. View lap times. Toggle drivers. No grid penalties whatsoever. Maxim Rodriguez has allegedly blocked someone. I don't get it. But his pole position is currently gone, thanks to the regulations. What matters is who was first in the qualifying, not who starts first on the grid, because it's all about the fastest time. We'll definitely not resplat the lobby for this one, because basically we don't do that, and it's stated in the rules, because we don't really want to waste time. We've already wasted 10 minutes on trying to invite drivers for 10 minutes straight. As Balgos currently goes through Ascari wheel, nice indeed. Has to avoid 15 drivers in one instance. Not really 15, but that's a whole lot of traffic going on. As Balgos is about to cross the line for his probably last lap time of today, and that is going to be 19.3, which makes him stay on the 8th. He currently stays on the right side of the track to make sure nobody drives into him accidentally. Diogo Moraes currently on the outlap. I wonder if Kaiser Huber is starting, so we're looking for any driver that is about to finish. And one of them is Siep de Mangle. Can Siep de Mangle get better than 13th in his return to Euro after half a season? This tire is still making issues, but yeah, this tire made so much issues that the Mangle went off track. Had to go wide. Still going though, but not improved. And he could still go, but he's decided not to. Mr. who is Sam Goyard, has just made it 10th place in the qualifying, and this is how he ends. As Nikolaidis, he's got his teammate Olano ahead, and Olano is more on course for pole position. Although he's losing half a second to Rodriguez, Lago just goes second with 18.5. We'll go to 18.3 maybe with Lependre, I don't know. As Olano is about to cross the line or go to the pits, he's going to cross the line. He's going to set a 10 milliseconds better lap time. Still 4th. Still good for the Aston Martin, the Italian driver. As any tifosis, Zanetti already won a race this season, so you don't really have to worry about him starting last. He made a decent result. Lepenro, although he's improved, looks like he's done it on the invalidated lap because it didn't count. And that's why he stays third. Django Moraes stays fifth. Kalle Pulkkinen, well, he's 3 tenths up on his lap time. Will not give him pole position, but maybe a fifth, fourth place ahead of Federico Olano. And we've also got Jacob Balgas about to cross the line because, well, someone has to. And I think Django Moraes will go to the pits. There we go! Well, everyone now wants to restart, it looks like. But unfortunately, the regulations say otherwise. Anyways, Lago currently starts on pole. As Rodriguez drops down to 6th. Then we've got Lepenru, Pulkkinen, Olano, and Moraes, and then Rodriguez. Staberg, Balgos, Evans, Jeziorny, Goyard, Engelian, Nikolaidis, Demangel, Goring, Zachuber, Dia, and Zanetti. And we'll indeed get a lobby restart, but I want to know the weather conditions. So, in short, what we can do is we can have a race start. This is what you see now. It does not count, if you're wondering. We just make sure that everyone crashes, so everyone is notified about the restart. But that's funny, though. That's content. I mean, we don't care. We just crash into everyone to make sure that everyone is restarting the race. And we've got 5 drivers who are continuing somehow. But, yeah. This doesn't count. We know it. It's a lobby restart. But that at least looked funny. This is, by the way, the only time you're allowed to crash someone on purpose in ERO. Basically being a notification that the lobby is being restarted. That's it. Also, Joshua Evans from the F2 wins the Italian Grand Prix and celebrates it with a donut. Anyways, I think it's enough time that I'll launch this screen. In case you want, we can make... I can actually launch you highlights of Austria, because I still got them loaded. In case you heard anything. Well, that was content. That was content. That was the funniest piece of racing I've ever seen this season. And I would like to have access to the qualifying standings. Well, bananas on track, definitely. I'm also trying to join the lobby, and it looks like, yeah, the session no longer exists. Which, put in short, is brilliant. What I can hear is me trying to get into the lobby if you... No, you don't have the F1 sound being loaded. So this is very cool music, don't you think? So, you have seen championship standings already, but this is a static stone screen, and I think personally that is really cool. These are the championship standings of the top 10 because I just want you to look at the image, and we're all good. We don't want to leave the session; we want to spectate. We also might hear from Colin Ryan joining as the 19th driver. Well, I think you've seen the championship standings already. Top 10 is what really counts. Top 8 gets a guaranteed seat for season 11. And the first driver is the champion. Well, after the season, of course, because we're midway through it. We'll go back to the maintenance stuff. As more and more drivers are joining. That should be all good soon, and we should be starting around 6:45 UK, which is quite reasonable. As I confirm that Conor Ryan will probably join the lobby. He's got 6 minutes, and he's 2 minutes from opening the F1 23, the beautiful simulator that, in my opinion, is definitely better than F1 22. Well, you can state your opinion on the chat about it. But in my opinion, F1 22 was funny, and 23 is actually it's got decent physics. It's got decent handling. You don't have to short shift to like 17th gear to have any traction. You can actually drive the car like it should. As I'm watching who is yet to join, that should be Le Pen who's gone. That's funny. Same as the Mongol. And we've also got someone else yet to join. Yes, the Mongol is in. Stahlberg. We've got one driver left to join. Out of the drivers you have seen already in the qualifying. And Conor Ryan is indeed joining the session. Yeah, he's joining. So we got 19, not 18 drivers in the grid. Matthew Wrightson, who is often called Ronkson if you're familiar with PSF5 culture, we can tell, is asking us to show the crash between a certain Adam Hurtosh from PSF2 with Clement Sefrin, which was weird to be fair, but you'll have a chance to watch, possibly. I'm saying you will have a chance, not it will definitely happen just yet. But tomorrow evening, around 6 PM UK, I should stream. I should make a stream where I review all the incidents from this week, and there's quite a lot of them in the lower tiers. At least that's funny. If you want to know the state of the lobby, by the way, I'm just going to show the game. We're chilling in 19 people, and that is what we'll have to see in this race. We've got races with full grid, basically Dutch Grand Prix. Every single race in the year was like 19, maybe 17 once, then 19, 19, 4, and now we're having 19 again because certain McLaren driver is not responding, failed to respond. Goring is already eager to start, by the way. And I will just leave it on the in-game screen. But I have these cool things. This is, for example, a remote play. Well, I cannot show too much. I'm not going to show you 200 messages of asking people how to join the league, because basically this is how half the league joined, because I just went to PSN messages and said, hey, good race, wanna join the league? I'm revealing my secret tactics, but they are not really secret, because I've shared them since season 4. And to be fair, nobody goes for it when I ask people. And that is sad. Why? Because this is a method that if, say, everyone got one driver a day, because I can get 10 drivers in 7 days. If 5 people have done it every single day, not even every single day, just do it once a week, bro. You go like, you find a driver, there's 5 people who find 5 drivers, regardless what kind of lobby, crossplay, non-crossplay. Give it like once a week, which means full grid a month, which means year, and we're the biggest league in the world. Simple as that. Of course, I need to pull out one of our tactics regarding the ready up strategy, because Kyle Pulkinen, who is hosting the grid, has told us the grid is ready. I'm having a quick look at the lobby options with you, which here are all good. Actually, it should be friends only. Everything good, everything good, everything good, everything good. Everything is good. We have the safety car reduced, and no formation lap. So I just need this to be friends only. And yeah, that's it. We're racing. We are going to race. This is surprising stuff. This is wonderful stuff, but it's happening. "19 drivers out of 20 will race today." Some people comment on the PSF1 that we have real life Monza moment, because for anyone wondering, I will not tell you the race results, but you probably know already. In case you don't want any spoilers and you want to watch. But a certain someone got himself a car, got his car gone, basically. Not like gone, but broken, which delayed the start procedures. And we got the same thing because of a grid penalty, which was called bad one. Now, don't forget setups. I, for example, remember the situation where we still got something called the tire rules, where top 10 had to go on the tires they use on Q2, but we've got short qualifying, so the ones you use in the qualifying can set the best lap time with. But thankfully, it's not a rule anymore. By the way, before the race starts, I want you to hit the like button. Because why not? There's like 10 of you and no likes. This is so sad. Can we have 50 likes? I don't know, but you definitely can. Anyways, enough of content. Enough of waffling. Hit that bloody like button and we'll be racing. The more likes, the quicker we'll race. Thank you. You can also subscribe to the channel if you want to chat, because I probably made that limitation. That you can only chat if you're subscribed. Vitor Joaquim, I do not speak Spanish, but has done it probably, which makes him a really cool person. Well, we've got one race. Actually, it doesn't count, but we've got a race start where everyone has crashed. Now, we're having a real race start, and I want less than one drivers to stop racing in lap 1, and we'll be good. And I want less than 1 wing damage, which, if you follow leagues like PSGL, WOR, is not really that easy. But Ero is Ero, and we've got 5 laps ahead of the drivers, and we're actually starting the Italian Grand Prix in the Ero Ps F1. Maxim Rodriguez back on pole position, got a great start on Francesco Lago. Le Pen will look for that space to attack for the lead of the race as well. He's now side by side with Lago into turn 1, as Rodriguez is ahead of everyone into turns 1 and 2, peacefully leading. We've already got yellow flags in sector 1. I hope this is all due to the fact that everyone has to go 30 km per hour in order not to crash with each other, but yeah, everyone's going, apart from Siep de Mangle, who's 4 seconds behind now, as Diogo Moraes, who's moved cars mid-race, has gone ahead of Kalle Pulkkinen into 6th place. Kalle Pulkkinen losing 2 places on the start of the Grand Prix, and losing a 3rd one to Ludwig Stabek. Haas drivers doing great one today, as Kalle Pulkkinen loses another place, this time to Ero Ps, so at least with side... Virtual safety car. What? Can anyone explain? As Jericho Balgas, don't know who's actually getting that 7th place or not, but we've got virtual safety car, probably someone with a full wing damage. This is the only thing I could believe. Is it Conor Ryan? It is Conor Ryan, who's got absolutely no front wing. And he's going to drive wingless into the pits. Well, at least made up numbers. Back to the front though. Maxime Rodriguez ahead of Francesco Lago. Francesco Lago will try to win. As Maxime Rodriguez starts the restart, we've got green flags again. He's got the purple lap, the fastest lap, but that's not really a thing. It's especially considering the fact it's lap 1. Let's see the strategies though, because we've, apart from sudden virtual safety car for whatever reason, we've got one driver in the pits. And what kind of tires everyone is in? Because that will definitely be asked by someone engineering Francesco Lago, for example. And these are the tires. Top 3 is on the hards, and Pulkkinen and Gallian. Apart from that, 2 soft runners and the rest is on the mediums. Sam Goyard with a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. I believe he's missed points in 1 or 2 occasions due to the fact that he's got many of those penalties. Also, these applied by a steward, who coincidentally is me. Joshua Evans now ahead of Pulkkinen. Pulkkinen having disaster over the first 2 laps. From 4th to 9th. Looks like this lobby restart got him off a little bit. But remember, he's on the hard tire, so he might catch up later on. Back to the front though. As Diogo Moraes on the 5th place, looking for a move on Francesco Lago. Everyone is setting a fastest lap as Diogo Moraes makes a move on Olano to 4th place. Wonderful stuff as he goes down the inside of Le Pen. What a move that is from the Haas driver. If that worked, that would be one of the overtakes of the season. For the first time in my life, I would see a dive from like 200 meters in this game. That would be successful. And wouldn't be just push to pass or rear-ending someone. But Moraes hasn't done it just yet. We'll wait for better opportunities though as Maxime Rodriguez takes the lead. Francesco Lago basically agreed on the restart, because if it wasn't Lago, then we would, because if it wasn't for Lago, we would make a restart, to be fair. But Lago agreed, so we're going for it. If 5 place group penalty is such a problem, then I don't know. Well, it looks like we're going to change some regulations in a bit. Yellow flags in sector 3, that is Yeshor. And Gallian spun with Goyard. And Goyard is stuck in the gravel. Don't know what happened there, but Goyard definitely not having greatest of weekends. Maybe I should have a look on the minimap of what happened up there. The gap between the... Okay, the gap has reduced between Gallian. Well, Matthew Wrightson, if you can check the stream as Jeziorny gets overtaken by Zanetti. Zanetti doing a recovery drive and a half. Already 4 laps, 4th lap has started and he's already 11th. Well, as I told you, Wrightson, you can check what happened there, if it's a spin or if it's someone in the Williams causing something or the Mercedes causing something, we don't know. By the way, Zanetti has to regain 4 seconds to Nicolaides. I think he's got the pace for it. In short, we have to know that he's won in Britain. And DNF'd in a weird manner at Zandvoort, but let's better remember the win. Lago is currently just 1/4 of a second behind Rodriguez. El Cardia overtaken by Zahuba into Ascari. Zanetti going wide. Regain 2/10 throughout this lap, using as much ERS as he can, probably hoping for a safety car that will regain all the ERS. Rodriguez is doing this as well. Lago, now I know he loves to back out of a move into turn 1, but he's not backing out of it now, and he's going side by side with Rodriguez. He backs out of it! When will we see a successful Lago completed overtake? As Balgos fight Olano and Ludwig Starberg, probably been forced off in the process or just missed the breaking point. I got 5-second time penalty for that one. We'll go back to the top though, as Lago is just risking down Rodriguez. 2/10 of a gap, 3/10 of a gap. Basically a move any time could happen in the top 2, as long as Francesco Lago is not trying his masterclass strategies and will just go for a move once and for all. Well, I don't think Ascari is the best opportunity for that, but the main straight it is. I wonder also how much Engelian's regaining on the Mongol. That's the question of the day. So we've got 2 drivers who have gone to the pits. Lepenu is also chasing down Rodriguez. And Lago, Moraes lost 2 places all of a sudden. Stahlberg chasing down Olano as well. Having a quick check on the top, on the 4th to 6th, as Lepenu goes will to will with Francesco Lago. The 2 drivers who are predicted to be championship contenders now side-by-side action, and also side-by-side behind them, Luno and Olano into turn 1, and the Haas driver made a successful move into 4th place. None of the drivers in top 3 are making moves, waiting for a better opportunity, which I don't think is going to come soon. The best opportunity to attack is right now, by the way, if you're following what I think. Into De La Roggia now. And Variante Lesmos, all of the 3 drivers are just one behind another. This is probably the more interesting battle because none of the drivers are going to back out of it. Ludwig Staber has got no DRS of Lepenu, which means Olano can use all of his power to regain that 4th place, and he does so. Very easy stuff. And he should be 1.1, 1.0 seconds behind, and I think he should be within DRS of Lepenu. If he joins Lepenu's DRS, this will make the race automatically more interesting, so please use a little bit of that power. Get closer to these drivers, so we can have a 6 cars DRS train, maybe 7, maybe 8, maybe 9, maybe 10. And Zanetti is not gaining any time, he's even losing. He's now 4.4 seconds behind. Legender is losing as well. The Mongol and Goyard both crashed at the same time. And Zanetti got a 5-second penalty for spinning in the pit lane. Wow. Well, he can save that very next lap. Going to hards, for example. Is he going to hards? He's going to softs. So I guess he's going for the hards next lap. Unless he's got some weird strategy. Definitely top 3 stays out. Unless they are risky people. And Lago is not a risky person because in shot he didn't go for a move. And the Gomersh also went for a move on Lepenu, which could be a massive one, massive. So safety car is out. Bernd Mailander is already letting everyone pass because he awaits Rodriguez. Who definitely needs to pit is Ludwig Staber, who I always see starting on the soft tires, gaining positions on the first laps. Now it's his chance to go to the pits. Maybe Moraes will think and build a bit of a gap in order not to double stack with Mr. Stahlberg. But we remember, for example, Jack Bailey going for a move on Malvin Anderson to the pits during the safety car and PS F4. Is an option as well today. Not from Jack Bailey though, because he's using loads of assists. Who's going to the pits now? This is the question. We've got a collision. We've got a second collision between the houses. Someone has faked the pit entry, and we've got a third collision between the houses. And Balgos goes the head of Stahlberg. No, sorry, Moraes. That's some action. Pulkinen and Rodriguez stayed out. Everyone else goes into the pit. The double stack is happening regardless. This is an unsafe pit release thing that is suited for the esports drivers so they don't lose time. Moraes goes out of the pits in position number 9. Zanetti, as predicted, goes to the pits for the hard tires and serve his penalty. So he's going for the strategy, which is bold, which may give him a couple of places. There is no way that Balgos races Moraes into turn 1 and they collided. Congratulations, or Moraes has spun by himself. I'm not really sure, but Balgos is really eager for some of today, same as the Haas drivers. I don't really get it. Are we trying to be like some other leagues? We've done it in Netherlands already. A little bit. But Monza is known for the chaos in this league, if you're wondering. Season 4, Kieran Purner got a puncture on the next to final lap, on the penultimate lap, which caused him to go to the pits for the final lap. And Luke Schultes has won, and Nick Rodriguez's 9th streak win, the same Rodriguez that is leading right now. Season 5, Kim Hodgson gets pushed off track by Julian Berenson, who later wins but gets penalized. Who's won that race? I guess Visay, and I need to check this one. Season 6, Greg Dempsey Grand Darunia. A title fight is on its peak, and Drake Dempsey makes him off on the final lap. As a fun fact, I also raced in that Grand Prix, and I scored points, the first Polish points since Season 3, which we'll come back to later. Season 5, by the way, was won by... yeah, Visay, who's not racing today. As Season 7, well, that was a title decider. Season 8, Guillaume Darunia, 0 IQ move on Moraes. He's also going to the pits. Are you changing your wing, blood? And Season 9 never happened because the attendance was so bad. That's the only Monza race that never happened. And he's indeed changing a wing. Why is the pit crew ghosts? I'm not really sure. But the one and only Italian Grand Prix is the Season 3 Italian Grand Prix. Also, why are you on softs? Regardless. What I was on was the Season 3 Italian Grand Prix in PS F1. We're only talking about PS F1 races, if you're wondering. On them in Season 3, where everything has happened, starting from a pile-up, to great racing, to wilderness of the final 2 laps, which made a 4-wide finish. That's it in terms of the fun facts of Italian Grand Prix. Once again, the championship standings: Lago 60, Gashi 51, Lependre 40. No, Nikolaidis 48. Lependre is just about 4th with 46 points. And currently, he's losing 2 points more to Lago. The gap between 1st and 4th is 14 points, by the way. 6 races, I mean. Some people decided to miss some, like Lependre, Gashi, Lago, or Zanetti. Safety car for a very late call in this lap, so I might as well go back to racing. I went into the flow state of talking about fun facts, as Ludwig Stahlberg goes to the pits again. Overtook everyone and made another bit of chaos in this restart. These are some very interesting tactics, to say the least. He drops all the way into last. Rodriguez keeps the lead, ahead of Pulkkinen and Lago. Lago and Lependre, I believe they will go for that move on Pulkkinen sooner than later. Yellow flags, that is Zanetti. And Nikolaidis is a place to Vargas in the 7th, but we're following the top fight. As Pulkkinen might be eager on making move on Rodriguez. Got a disaster of a start, but on the restart he might go for a move into the lead of the Grand Prix. From 4th to 9th to 1st. Rodriguez goes off. He goes a little bit off, but keeps the gap to Pulkkinen. We're still following from this camera because this is wonderful. As Pulkkinen, you can tell how close he is to Rodriguez and how close the drivers behind him are. Lago and Lependre. And I think that Pulkkinen is going for a move on Rodriguez. He's got that lower wings and he's using overtaking race mode, but he's backing out. Rodriguez is making space for Lependre, supposedly, who goes up 2 places. On Kalle Pulkkinen and Lago as well. Rodriguez is still on the lead of the Grand Prix. Don't think he's going to brutally let Lependre pass, but Lago is also fighting Pulkkinen as well. Rodriguez weaving a little bit, using that bit of ERS. Lago goes for a move on the inside into Parabolica. Rodriguez, having a little bit of an off-going in the Parabolica exit, is now behind Lependre, and Lependre takes the lead, but Rodriguez is not going to give this one up. And they are 3 wide into turn 1. This is scenes already. Rodriguez on the outside. On the inside we've got Lependre, and Lago backs out of it, but Lependre doesn't. He fights will to will with the Alpine. We've got yellow flag somewhere. That is a Mercedes of Jeziorny, but we don't really care now. It's Lago and Lependre, the championship contenders, are still will to will, and now Lependre is trying to take the lead from Rodriguez. This might be a three-way situation. No, Lago is just behind. Rodriguez is back into the lead of the Italian Grand Prix, but Lependre goes for a sweat rack. What a move from him yet again, and that makes it Lago in the 2nd as well. So Rodriguez was first for the full lap and then lost 2 places in the fight between these 3 drivers. Lepenro and Lago, now with the risky strategy of the mediums, kinda early to be fair, will now try to save them until the end of the race and sort it out between each other. As Balgos makes the move on Pulkin. Pulkin again losing place on his old heart, that did not really help, as Pulkinen, well, from first almost to 7th already. Not the greatest of stuffs. Diego Moraes on the south, by the way. He's in 11th, and definitely he's bidding again, hoping for another safety car. We're going to have a full dry race today, so we're not really bothered about any rain going on. Moraes goes for a switchback on Goring, which is wonderful. DRS is enabled. Goring is going to settle behind the Haas driver, and now the Haas driver goes ahead of Michael and Gelgen. Currently, I believe 6th in the standings. Lepenro goes for Lepenro is losing a place to Lago as well, and Moraes goes for late braking into turn 1. And that should make him ahead of Angelian. No, he's side by side still. And this time, Moraes goes ahead of the Mercedes driver into 9th place. Moraes has won the championship in this car in the Haas back in Season 7. And now he's making overtakes in the Haas in Season 10. In his first race in the Ero since Season 9 Bahrain Grand Prix, or Japanese Grand Prix. As he makes a move on Kalle Pulkin and Japanese Grand Prix. As a correction, Olano loses a place to Evans. Evans into 4th place. In the Alpine, the F2 driver has still got it, and Evans will now chase down Rodriguez into position number 3, and I think he's not backing out of it. He's using that ERS. He doesn't care about Rodriguez being their full-time driver, and he goes ahead of his today's teammate into 3rd place. How about the top though, as Lago made a place on Aurélien Lepenroux into, I believe, turn 1. That was, we missed that one, as Lepenroux has got DRS now, so we'll definitely not miss that one. We'll focus on this. I don't care that Olano is fighting Rodriguez. I want to see a move from the French driver in the Red Bull against the Italian counterpart, as Lepenroux is not using DRS, so he's backing out as well. He's not using full throttle, so the tactics are going on again. Rodriguez and Balgos are trying to make a move on Evans. These are absolute scenes around Monza. Here in Season 10 of Ero Ps F1, the Haas driver of Moraes almost shoves Olano off. Evans is will-to-will with Balgos. Same as Moraes. Moraes makes a move on the Alpine of Joshua Evans. Zanetti with the fastest lap. He's on the last place though, so this could be his one and only point from today's Grand Prix. Moraes using soft tires to best of their capabilities so far. From 11th on the restart to 5th now, as he awaits Balgos to make him from Rodriguez. Nobody's backing out here. Not like Lepenro and Lago, who are using tactics because they are caring about the championship and getting at a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. We've seen a little bit of a contact. Now Aston Martin goes wide, and there's a spin, a heavy crash of Conor Ryan. Don't know if there was a contact there, but Bergmeilander is caught on track again. Definitely need to have a watch, because we've seen it barely on live. He spun around by himself, so he binned it. At least, thank you for making up the numbers, as Balgos stays out with Olano to take the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. This is already since we're halfway through the race. We've seen great action on the restart, we've seen great action on the start, we've seen a safety car, we've seen a second safety car. Let's have this dirty race for once where we don't care about the driving standards and make it the best race in the history of Ero, because why not? The best race doesn't have to be clean. This is why Ero Ps F1 Season 3 Italian Grand Prix is one of the greatest of all time. This is why Season 5 Singapore Grand Prix is one of the best of all time in PSF2. Because there is some incidents during the races, because not everyone is perfect. But boy, these races, these two I mentioned, were mad. Was there anything as interesting as these two? Well, the Italian Grand Prix again. PSF2 Season 5, where I obliterated 2 drivers. This is my confession. Lago and Le Pen will not have to worry about the tires now, because they're on new mediums. El Cardia goes bold with the softs, and I don't think they're going to survive 13 laps. Yeah, this is already wild action. I do not think... About what? Well, I don't think anyone's going to the pits again, apart from Dia, who's on the south. Balgos, what are you doing? What were you thinking during this, the safety car being launched? Not to pit, and now you'll go to the last place. I guess he wants to avoid the carnage that could potentially happen. I don't mind one carnage during the season, though. Because you've already got 4 clean races and 1 mid in a row. Okay, fourth one, the Spanish Grand Prix was relatively clean, and Dutch Grand Prix was just mid. At least the dirtiness, potential one, would come out from the fact that the drivers want to make the race funny, and not just make any calculations in terms of the championship. The only 2 that actually care about the championship are Lago and Lependro. Nikolaidis is on the 3rd. He's 6th now. And I think he needs more of these lucky races if he wants to be involved. And Gashi needs to actually attend. Is Stallberg spun? Was Stallberg spun round in De La Roggia? What? This race is already over me. At least, I can definitely tell, we've seen some real racing going on. Moraes going for a move, Rodriguez going for moves, as defending as well, Pulkinen almost going for a move in the space of these 3 laps that we spent racing between the 2 safety cars. Le Pen Lag, we missed that one unfortunately, because I was focused on Moraes. This genius is going to the pits again. And they are making a double stack. The Ferrari are going full Ferrari today. Ferrari is just being Ferrari right now. Zanetti going out of the pits on the softs. So I assume they're going bold with the strategies. The Ferraris. We have 23 seconds to regain though, so probably save these tires. Olano stays in the lead of the Grand Prix because he's decided not to pit, he refused. And I think he's going to get obliterated in turn 1, and turn 3, and turn 4, and turn 5. Why? Because these tires are old. Lago and Lependro are on the fresh mediums, and everyone else is on the fresh tires. Safety car is in this lap, and congratulations to the Ferrari strategists that made the drivers appear on the middle of nowhere during the restart. They could catch back though. They're regaining in the pace of 1 second per checkpoint. If I can call that checkpoint. So they should be fine. Or maybe just behind, maybe 2 seconds. Yeah, they're regaining enough as Olano is just braking and accelerating at the same time. This is a common glitch to burn some fuel. And I think he's just about starting. Again, the Italian Grand Prix is the 3rd restart. We're having 11 more laps of racing. And I want to see some great action. Will the 2 Italians up front deliver it? As Lago is chasing down Olano and will try to make him off as soon as possible, because he doesn't want the hard runner ahead of him when he's on the new mediums. Well, he's not making it into turn 1. Nobody is making it into turn 1 so far, apart from Rodriguez on the Penro a little bit, but that was just a little bit of a look. Now Lago is using a bit of his power. Now he's side by side with Olano into Grande Corner. This long right-hander provides some great will-to-will racing, and this is one of those, as Lago goes ahead of Olano, and Lependro goes ahead of Olano as well. Well, I hope there was no incidents. As you can tell, Olano is clearly going. Lepenru is now chasing down one and only Lago, but he has to remember that with the guy behind. It's almost a second behind, by the way, but he should still have the RS. Maxim Rodriguez on the third. Moraes should probably also go for him with Olano as well. The hard runners strategy did not really pay off so far, as Moraes goes for him with on the Aston Martin. I think the Aston Martins will swap places. Also, Moraes is going wide. Sometimes you just do it. I think that Nikolaidis will sooner or later just be let pass by Olano, unless Olano will try to block Moraes. We'll see how the communication goes in the Aston Martin, and I think that goes really well, as Olano lets Nikolaidis pass in order to chase down the top 4, as he's also part of the championship halfway through the season, ladies and gentlemen. Panos Nikolaidis, the driver on the controller, by the way, who has got one and only podium this season, but will be definitely chasing down more, as he's got the chance now, as he's part of the top 5 race, or Caleb can never go for him on him. They are side by side to grant the corner now. Panos Nikolaidis is slightly ahead. Zanetti is out. Safety car again. Alessandro, how? You were just chilling on the last place. There is no way he's just got rear-ended by someone. He was a second behind Ludwig. Now, who needs to go to the pits? And that is an older. It's Federico Olano. He's already lost 6 places during this 1.5 laps. Or 1 and a bit laps. 1 and a chicane laps, actually. It's already his content. I want more races. I don't want more races to be like this. I want the most races to be clean and all. But this one is wild, and I like it. And I'm enjoying it. And I hope you like it too. If you do, you know where to click. The like button. And get your friends involved. As I told you, Olano is in the pits. And alongside them, Rodriguez. Going on the 5-second penalty for spinning in the pit lane. Why does everyone... why does someone always get the 5-second place... 5-second time penalty for spinning in the pit lane? Now, Rodriguez goes softs. And Galin goes softs. Jeziorny gets double stacked. And also goes softs. Everyone in the pits goes softs. Can we have a 7-car pileup on the restart, by the way? For no reason. I just want it for whatever reason. The race with the lowest amount of finishers in the PS F1 tier history. Because in general Ero history, on PlayStation only, because I'm not sure about the PC, is 6. Twice. In PSF 5 Azerbaijan Grand Prix in 2 different occasions, Season 6 and Season 7. Well, the first one cut the full grid, and 6 drivers finished. Which was mad one already. I don't think we're getting anywhere near that in this circuit. And I actually... Next up we've got Imola. So I don't think we might see a couple of incidents there, because drivers see a gap and go for it. Sometimes. Which is not the best thing to do at Imola. The best thing to do at Imola is to just do it on the DRS straight. After... On the DRS straight, by the way. Then we've got Jeddah, our chance to get a little drivers finishing. Bahrain is always sort of clean, at least. Abu Dhabi on the 1st of October, which has seen some controversial circumstances going on during Season 8 PSF1 race. And Championship fight as well. Qatar Grand Prix for the first time. Where I just reminded myself of Bradley Just in the debut drivers race, because the debut drivers race is a thing where you can drive if you're racing for the first time before the season. In Ero. And Bradley Just, I remember how he caused a little bit of a crash there. And all that stuff made himself go out of the race. I believe Simon Carstens was racing there as well, and he was the one collected, but get going. at Bradley just a day before the race left the server, if you're wondering, if no word. And if you're wondering, if you look at the regulations which are available on the website, living with no explanation from the Discord server if you are a driver. Like, if you're a guy who just comes into the server, has a look, leaves because doesn't really want to, well, fine. But if you're a driver, you've signed up for something and you've committed yourself to something. So it's kind of logical that if you leave, you're not being brought back. It's not reverted, by the way, at least for half a year. And that is at least for half a year. All depends. And I actually feel like it's the right, not like feel like, but I actually find it the right decision to unban you. Simple as that. Yeah, in short, a little bit of a run going on. I think that safety car should be in this lap because we've got Jan Goring rejoining the grid. So I think we should be racing, guys. Yeah, we are racing. Third safety car. Third time Bermander has led the race. And now we're back into the pits. And racing again. Now my question is, Le Penro or Lago? Well, the rest of the soft runners, actually the soft runners, we have to go through 7 drivers. As Lago goes again, and Lago leads this restart. Le Penro trying to catch the slipstream. All the drivers try to catch the slipstream. How powerful this slipstream is, as Le Penro goes wheel to wheel with Lago into turn 1. And they are not giving it up. They are not both backing out. Le Penro has the inside line, takes the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. Rodriguez, actually that is Evans, going up into 5th place. Rodriguez also into 9th. Bagos into 7th. Lago is currently lost a place. And now he's chased down by Diogo Moraes and Panos Nicolaitis as well, who is also busy fighting Evans into De La Rocha chicane. And I think that Evans tries to go for a move on Moraes as well. Moraes is forced off. That is definitely a penalty without mitigating factors. Moraes loses 3 places in this, at the end of the day, and could regain 1 on Pulkkinen. Well, definitely Bagos is not making a move, and he isn't. But Moraes lost 3 places, and now he's being chased down by Rodriguez. Bagos lost 2 places in the process. Rodriguez goes for a move on Diogo Moraes, who lets him pass. Decides not to care about the fighting stuff. Better to stay behind the soft runner and hope for something to happen. Stabek, 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Has cut the corners 3 times. As Pulkkinen, again, being at the front on the restart. We'll see how he goes now. He's definitely leaving a place to Rodriguez soon, because Rodriguez is on the fresh soft, and he's got that tire advantage which might kick in right now. Rodriguez really close to the Finnish driver, but I don't think it's enough to make a move, as Pulkkinen is the one about to make a move on Nicolaitis into turn 1. And I also wondering if Josh Evans is going to be overtaken by Pulkkinen. No, Pulkkinen is not that brave and not that bold, but he's going side by side with the Aston Martin. Yellow flags, the reason Jericho Bagos being spun around. Nicolaitis is the place. Nicolaitis is another place to Rodriguez into Grand the corner. And now Rodriguez uses all of his power down the inside into De La Rocha chicane and should be ahead of Josh Evans. No, sorry, Kyle Pulkkinen. He's gonna be ahead of Evans soon as well. Olanu ahead of Jeziorny into Lesmo. And Gallian jumped into 7th. Ludwig Stabek made a move on Jeziorny. Looks like this is his first race with no assist, but he's still doing well. This is the guy who was extremely sick and made pole position yesterday at Monza. Basically improving his personal best by 2 attempts. Because somehow the esports level drivers are keeping track of it. I'm not. I spent most of our races starting last, if you're wondering. Because I wanted to. I've won one of the races where I started last. As Angela makes a move on Nicolaitis. Wild action already here in Monza. Lago about close down on Le Penro. The ERS difference is non-existent between these 2 drivers. You already know the tires. Rodriguez went for a move on Evans. Evans decided not to care and actually let his teammate pass for today's race, because Rodriguez has a much more important thing to do than fight with Joshua Evans for the third. He's got that race win, which is around 8 tenths ahead of him. And that guy who is currently leading the race and taking that race win from Rodriguez is Le Penro, who's fighting for that 3rd championship in a row, which would make it historic. You may say, oh, Red Bull's leading, race over. No, fret not, because this is an equal performance race, which means Lago has the exact same car performance as Lepenro, and all that matters is skill, or tire wear, because that was an equal on equal cars at the beginning of the game, and actually all the previous games, but nobody's realized that earlier. Rodriguez gets a purple sector too, and that means he is about to not only make a move potentially these two drivers, but also maybe even get the fastest lap. Balgos behind him also could go for it on the last lap if he's bothered. The top 13 drivers, all of them are having fair chance for getting points today. Rodriguez, well, he's into the inside line, into turn 1. Also makes the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Has DRS on Lago, and I think he's going for it. Ludwig Starbeck makes the fastest lap of the Grand Prix as Le Pen covers the inside line to not let Maxime Rodriguez pass. And Maxime Rodriguez is left off with nothing but staying on the 3rd place. In the meantime, Engelian, has gone up to 4th place. And Le Pen is almost side by side with Lago. I don't think he's giving this one up. Actually, he's giving this one up, backing out, thinking of better opportunities, because he was not using full throttle into grab the corner. Or maybe he was afraid of rear-ending Lago and causing a carnage, which would make content, to be fair. But Le Pen can actually drive clean. He's got little penalty points every season. Lago goes for a move. Lago went for a move. Actually, stay on the lead of the Grand Prix, but I'm mixing myself up, to be fair. But Le Pen is not even trying to overtake Lago. What are you doing? Just go for it. Well, Rodriguez is about to make a move on you, if you're wondering, so I would hurry up if I was you. This is not the end of the action. We've still got 3 laps left. I can already call this as... Oh, wow, Rodriguez almost rear-ended his former teammate for 3 seasons in a row. And look who's in 4th. That is Engelian, who was spun around probably by Goyard at the beginning of the Grand Prix. Now he's 4th. We know that he's got a time penalty, as Le Pen goes for a move on Lago, and Rodriguez goes for a move on Lago as well. Takes the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. They are side by side into the first 2 corners. Rodriguez now ahead of Le Pen again, and this time he's on the lead of the Grand Prix. He's got that pole position point, and now he leads this, leaving Le Pen and Lago to fight for the 2nd. And Engelian's also chasing down the top 3, almost making contact with Francisco Lago into De La Roggia. Thankfully, nothing else happened there, but I think he's going for a move and then appealing that penalty. Anyone could win this race right now, to be fair. Even if Rodriguez is leading on the fresh softs. He's still got Le Pen chasing him down. And Aurelian, if you're wondering, you should actually use more of that ERS. As El Cardia is out of the race, he will not call out another certificado, as this is basically too late in the game's reality. That is the end of the race for El Cardia, as Le Pen, although still 3 tenths, 2 tenths down on Rodriguez. I think he's going for a move into turn 1. He has to. If he doesn't want Rodriguez to go away. I know between these DRS zones are basically like 3 chicanes, but still, Le Pen should just go for it. And he goes for it into turn 1, does not give this one up. Rodriguez got no ERS at all. Lago will probably go for the move as well into turn 1, but Le Pen now stays ahead of these 2 drivers. Rodriguez keeps himself on the 2nd. Lago has to watch out for Engelian, to be fair. And Kalle Pulkinen is chasing down Engelian as well. This is the race where a little bit of a penalty can get you from 1st to like 12th. As Balgos goes to the pits to challenge for the fastest lap, which currently is 21.1 set by this guy in a Haas, whose name is Ludwig Stauber. Back to the top though, as Rodriguez is on the way to make him on Le Pen again. He's losing 8 tenths, but he's got DRS advantage, so he might regain a little bit. He regains around 4 tenths. Now he needs to push as much as he can, and if I was there, I would go fully throughout this Ascari chicane, to be fair. Beautiful forest, by the way, but we are not caring about this one. This is the last lap coming in this Italian Grand Prix, which is already wild, but we want to see one more move from one of the 3 drivers up front. We know Engelian is not going to win because of the time penalty, but it's Rodriguez. He's got 6 tenths of loss to Le Pen. Less ERS as well. Actually, no ERS at all, but he's got DRS. Lago will make a move on him into the inside line to turn 1. He does so, And I think the Italian should be right ahead. No, Rodriguez keeps it well. Lepenro is on the way to win for the second time this season, as Lago is sliding a little bit. Rodriguez forcing him a little bit off on the outside line, as we've also seen Kalpukin and Moraes will to will. Rodriguez loses the place to Lago. Now it's between the two drivers up front and also the two championship contenders. The two I would call the most of the championship contenders, because anyone can win the championship at this point. But it's half a second of a gap. Lepenro's got 40% of the RS. Lago's got 20. It's all between these two in these two final straights of the Italian Grand Prix. But I think that Red Bull is going to surprise us with a win. Actually not, as Engelen goes for a move on Rodriguez into Ascari and makes it stick into third place. Everyone will just use all of the ERS power, but I think we know the winner. It's one more corner left for Aurelien Lepenro, who has got troubles drive-through in Spain and a bit of a weak performance in the Netherlands. Now he's finally going to win in the home of Tifosis at Monza, and although he's not retaking the championship lead, he still wins, gets the second W on board ahead of Francesco Lago and Maxi Rodriguez, who are arguably the three fastest drivers in this division right now and entirety of Ero. Dugo Moraes jumps into 4th place in his PS F1 return, as Karl Pukinen is on 5th. Then we've got Michael Engelen, Panos Nikolaidis, Federico Olano, Jan Goring, and Ludwig Staubek rounds out the top 10. Disappointing performance for Joshua Evans, who was fighting for the podium at one stage. Loved every single bit of it. As Jacob Balgos, well, the question is if he's taking the fastest lap. He's 1.7 seconds up on his lap time. 21.0? Well, easy. Easy. Just like this team radio celebration when you win the race in the game. This is a thing, by the way, since F1 2021. So who takes the lead of the championship is, of course, Francesco Lago. Actually keeps it. The mad race, wonderful stuff. Gosh, you just missed the race and you are losing 85 minus 50 is 30, 29 points, and the beautiful French flag is on the stands, is on the podium, and everyone has joined the celebration on the main straight, because this is what we do at Monza. So Lago wins, no, Lepenro wins, sorry. Then we've got Lago. Then we've got Rodriguez and with pole. Then we've got Moraes. P4. There we go. On the 5th, Pulkinen. Yep, 6th is Engelen. Then we've got Nikolaidis and Dolano. Great performance. Goring with another point on board after 5th race in Netherlands, and Ludwig Staubek with just 1. Evans 11th, and Jeziorny P12. Actually, let me go to the bottom before the time runs out. Zachube P13 and Balgos P14 with the fastest lap on board. That's not it. Because of this. Which, if you're wondering, is the conference. And to be fair, wow. Conor Ryan has already reported a cardia. We'll probably wait a minute or two for these drivers, as Jacob Balgos just need to remind me, as he's got the fastest lap with P14. There we go. Lago keeps the lead, 78 points. Lepenro is second, 71. Nikolaidis third, 54. Gashi 51 on the 4th. and Gallian, and Rodriguez both on 43. 42 for Pulkin and 39 for Orlando. These are the guaranteed seats. Zanetti still in 25, as Ludwig Starbuck has got 23, and rounds up the top 10.
Hello.
Yo!
How are you?
Guys, you just made the best race of the season, you know? So far.
3 safety cars.
That doesn't
Oh
matter,
my
the safety
god, that
car.
was...
It was so boring to drive behind the safety car 10 laps.
Yeah, but you were rewarded with 17
That
laps
was
of
the
actual
war.
racing.
When I... That was a fucking war behind. This was... Oh my god.
And you avoided open lobby standards, if you're wondering.
I'm done.
Yeah.
My rears were gone at the end. I was sliding everywhere.
Yeah, the red... Oh my god, the red... Oops, shit. The red was... Like, 5 lap was okay, and after... Completely gone.
Yeah, that's
No
why I didn't.
pace, no...
Yeah, when
Yeah, but...
the result was shit. Yeah.
Anyways, welcome to this short conference thingy that we pretend to be a real F1 journalists, but anyways, for the PR departments, we'll start with the race winner of our Penru, who, after not the greatest of lucks in Spain and Netherlands, has gone and won again in PS F1 Italian Grand Prix. And to be fair, you probably agree with us. That was a mad one.
Yeah, hello everyone. Yeah. Well done.
That was a... Yeah.
Ça qui te parlait, je sais pas. Yeah,
What?
first congrats. Yeah, just French. Yeah, first congrats to Francesco and Maxime for the podium. I hope Maxime can keep Francesco a bit behind for the last lap, but it's fine. Yeah. In Spain, got the drive-through while I was like Bashi was on mediums and me on hards for the first couple of laps, and so I would have been on better tires after, so probably it would have been race win. But yeah, bad luck and bad strategy also in Netherlands. Got me lost a lot of points, but it's really great to be back on the podium and with the win. So yeah.
He's so good at this game.
Actually, do you want to know something? The only reason I agreed on the lobby restart is that Francesco agreed.
Mate, no, that was... You need to change that, mate. That's fucking unfair, and I'm sorry, but that's...
Yeah.
It's not even my fault. Like, I was blocking someone hit me, or I couldn't understand, but it's just the game. I did nothing wrong, and the game put me 5 place.
That's not fair.
Yeah, that's a new bug, new F1 new bug. It's always like that.
Yeah, it's really common. I see a lot of penalties.
Yeah.
In PGL we do restart.
Yeah, PGL, in PGL will restart. But yeah, if we have PGL in Ero, it will be different, I think.
PSL in Ero, what? I'm trying to get it.
No, like...
You want to PSL in Ero?
He's just waffling.
Yeah, he's waffling.
Yeah, that's...
He's simply waffling, Maxime Rodriguez, as we're moving to Francesco Lago to get his race report. Well, I missed one of your overtakes into turn 1, but I guess that's fine because it was mid-race. Anyways, there was plenty of action, and you probably agree with me.
Yeah. I mean, before the race, I was in the mud. I was really slow. I was struggling with the setup. I didn't know what wings to run. So I went into quali. I was a bit down because I thought I was gonna do a shit race, but then I hooked up a pretty good lap in quali. Messed up a bit Ascari, but that's fine. And then in the race, it was all about controlling the pace, controlling the tires, not getting any cuts or not spinning, and it was pretty fun. Then the last safety car screwed me a bit because I was gonna stay P2 the whole time and then try to overtake Aurelien on the last lap, but then I let also Max through, and I didn't overtake in time, so Aurelian got too much big of a gap to recover in only one lap. So yeah, I lost the race. Also, in the end, I was struggling a lot with tires. Like I had so much sliding in the rear, so I'm happy with P2 considering all these things.
Well,
Yeah,
in
it was a good
short,
race.
you probably enjoyed the race as well. Max
Yeah, I did.
Rodriguez in the third place.
Yeah.
As
Yeah,
you've gone
that
for
was
the
fun.
bold strategy of soft tires.
Oh
And
my
this
god.
worked out, to be fair.
Yeah.
Maybe not the best, but it worked out.
No. Yeah, honestly, Francesco just baited me, and I don't. I was in the pit entry when he came out, so I say fuck off. I'm going in and let's see what happened. And yeah, that was the restart, and I tried my best to overtook everybody as fast as I can, honestly. That was very I just screw my ERS in like 2 lap, and I think that cost me a lot at the end of the race. So I could have defended a bit more with more ERS. But yeah, that was fun race. A bit strange with all the safety car. We don't.
Yeah, too many.
That was hard for the strategy with the safety car. Like the first one, I didn't pit. Yeah, that was. I think that was not the right call to not pit, but I was first, and that was hard to call. So yeah, did a mistake there too. So I've been lucky. Then the second safety car came in good place for me. So and everybody around of me pitted too. So yeah, that was not that bad. Good, a bit of luck and a bit of unluck.
Okay, I think that's it for today. As next
Yeah.
week, we're in Italy again, but not the Italy we are in today.
Oh,
we
shit.
are basically at Imola, so we're having Italy 2, which I invite you to join already, as we'll be racing around this wonderful track as well. In
Can
short,
we do Mugello?
when Mugello when it's added into F1 game and you vote it.
Oh shit.
You've got the best of calendars because you've voted for it. So I don't want any complaints regarding its configuration.
Yeah. But yeah, everybody didn't vote like me, so
At least they didn't put
let's race.
Baku, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's it for today. As I hope you liked this live stream and race as well. And next week, we're at Imola for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. And I'll be heading off to some open lobbies. If someone wants to join me, I'm just hopping through different PlayStation only lobbies, if you're wondering. If you want to join. ER Void in your PL if you want to add me on the PSN, I don't really mind. So, that's it for today. And I'll see you up next time with the drivers. Goodbye.
Later.